Hey guys, amberalycee here. Thanks for checking out this video, and if you're new here, welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be quite different from my other natural hair videos because it's only going to entail pictures and me kind of just talking to you all about my 3 years being natural. So I actually got this idea from African Beauty, and I will be putting a link to her video in the description box below. I love the idea of not just showing you guys what I do, but being able to give you guys insight on kind of what I was feeling during those moments of my journey, and showing you all that it wasn't always easy and I didn't always know what to do with my hair. So I think you guys could benefit from that more because you may be having these feelings, or you may be experiencing some of these feelings that I also experienced during my journey. So before getting into the video, please do go ahead and subscribe. And also you can follow my natural hair page, which is where all of my pictures came from, which is at curlygirlamber on Instagram. And without further ado, we're going to just hop right into it. So this first picture is all the way from February 2015, which is one of the last 2 pictures I had before I completely stopped getting relaxers. And up until this point, I was pretty much just wearing sew-ins. This picture was taken during my senior year in high school, and I started wearing sew-ins my sophomore year because my hair had just gotten to be super unhealthy, you guys. No matter what I did, my hair would no longer retain any length. My hair pretty much wouldn't grow past my shoulders. And so once I started wearing sew-ins, I was able to get my hair to grow a decent length past my back. So that was pretty much what I was doing during this time period. Now this next picture will probably have you all thinking that I had started transitioning to natural hair, but I'm here to tell you that was simply not the case. I remember this day like it was yesterday because my sister had already started transitioning, and she would always say I might as well start because my hair was no longer taking the perms anymore. So I had her to take a picture of the left side of my hair just to see what she meant by it, and I was absolutely blown away at how my hair had curls already. Now these were not healthy curls, obviously, because they were obviously chemically damaged and also heat damaged, but the fact that they were there was a clear sign that my relaxers were no longer doing me any good. And just looking back now, I always dreaded getting perms because I always got chemical burns and my head would just be sore for days. And the fact that my left side of my hair didn't take anymore wasn't really helping me. So I'm definitely glad that I did go ahead and listen to her. And after seeing those results of those pictures, that day or maybe like a few days later, I did decide to go ahead and start transitioning. And I think I had got like braids, or maybe it was another sew-in, but I'm thinking it was some braids that my mom did for me. And from that point on was when my natural hair officially started. Alright, so the previous picture was around April 2015, and these next 2 pictures were taken a year after that. So I wore sew-ins and braid styles during that year because by now I was finishing up my freshman year in college and I was not close to home, so I pretty much wore those styles to be able to manage the 2 textures. And I am going to be showing you all different protective styles I wore and currently still wear, just so you guys will have an idea of what I was doing. This picture is the day after I officially big chopped after a year and a month. This is a day that I will never forget as long as I live. So the night before, I had just came home from college and I was beginning my summer break. And as I was taking down my crochet style that a friend of mine had done for me at school, which is the previous picture that you just saw, I was finishing up and a big chunk of my hair literally ripped out of my head, you guys. And it literally broke off where the 2 textures met. And I instantly knew that that was a big problem. And my sister just looked at me and said, you need to go ahead and cut before the problem gets any worse. So that night, it was just a spur of the moment kind of thing after that happened. And I cut all of my permed ends off and I never looked back. After cutting my hair, honestly, I didn't feel any type of sadness. And I was actually just really glad to be done with dealing with the 2 different textures because it had become such a hassle. So this picture you see again is just the first day after my big chop, and I pretty much just kind of put it in a small puff to kind of, you know, just get it out of my way because obviously I didn't really know what I was doing at the time. So that was pretty much how I wore my hair the entire time until it kind of started to grow out. So these next 3 pictures that you're seeing was just kind of like an update of how my hair was progressing after I cut off all of my permed ends. And I must say that my hair began to grow extremely fast once I cut off all of those ends. So I had watched so many videos of people just saying go ahead and cut it off because you're going to be amazed at how fast your hair grows. And I can say that I can also attest to that. The amount of growth that I got after cutting off my permed ends was significantly greater than obviously me trying to grow my hair out with those permed ends left on. So the first picture that you saw was just basically like a month after I had officially cut my hair. So you can see even from that picture to the picture before it where I had just cut my hair off, how much my hair had already grown and how big the puff had gotten. And then the second picture was basically just kind of like a texture shot of what my hair or my curl pattern was kind of looking like. And at that time, I was not really worried about curl patterns because I was just trying to get my hair to grow. So I didn't really too much worry about that, but that did come along eventually. And then the third picture that you see is just the way my puff pretty much progressed after 2 months. So from the day I cut it off to the second picture of my post, you can see it in the pictures how much my hair actually grew. So I just wanted to include those. So the next couple of photos are just going to come from a wash day that I had. And as you can see, my hair had obviously grown. And my hair, at the time, I was still able to wash my hair in the sink, which I somewhat still miss because now wash days are definitely not as easy as they used to be when my hair was shorter. So that was one thing that I did appreciate about my starting out journey when I was, just starting out. But I'm obviously happy for the growth that I have been able to get over the years. So you can again just kind of see the curl pattern that's going on there. And then I also included a picture kind of stretched out the back part of my hair just so you could see. Of course, still at that time I had shrinkage, so just showing you that my hair had grown, but obviously with it still being wet, and once it started to dry up, my hair of course started to shrink. And then the other 2 pictures are going to just be when I was deep conditioning. So even from the very beginning, I preach about deep conditioning now, but I very heavily believed in deep conditioning then as well. And even when I had a perm, deep conditioning was just always something that I did, so it wasn't that hard for me to incorporate that into my natural hair routine. So I'm just showing you guys, pretty much where my hair was at. You can see that even though my hair was growing, I still suffered from major shrinkage because I do have very tight curls. And so I just wanted to show you guys what my hair kind of looked like during a wash day then. So here is the first of many link checks that I've done. As you can see, my hair wasn't even past my collarbone, and this was right before I got some box braids installed. These next 3 pictures are just of me wearing my box braids so y'all can have an idea of what they look like. Okay, so this was just 2 weeks after my braids were installed, and I remember being super excited to see how much my hair was growing in just a short amount of time. Also, if you want to see the products I was using during these different stages that I'm showing to you all, go ahead and check out my natural hair page on Instagram at CurlyGirlAmber, where you can find all of these pictures along with the products that I was using during my different stages. And I just wanted to focus more on the process more than the products on this video, so just head there if you want to know more. Next up is another link check after taking down my braids that I had for 2 months. So you can see that my hair had definitely grown, and if I had pulled it down like I did in the other picture, it would have definitely gone past my collarbone. And so I try to give my hair a week or so in between protective styles. So this was my hair during my break, after my braids, and before my sew-in on the next picture. Alright, so in this next picture, I'm just showing you all that wearing a protective style does not mean to neglect your hair. I take care of my hair with my protective styles just as much as I do when I don't have one. And with my sew-ins, I wash them weekly just like I wash my natural hair weekly. And I make sure to deep condition my curls that are left out as well. So please make sure you aren't neglecting your hair under your protective styles, whether it be weaves, braids, wigs, or whatever you like to do. This picture was taken a month after the last one I showed you, and here I was still dyeing my hair jet black. I no longer dye my hair black because I wanted to eliminate all chemicals from my hair, but in this picture it was more just to show you what my hair looked like after 7 months, and I was able to now place my hair into 2 ponytails. And so at this point I was very excited, and I really thought that I was doing something. And then the picture after that is just what my puff looked like 7 months after my big chop. And if you compare my puff here to the 2 I showed you in the beginning of the video, you can see a clear difference in not only the size but even the health of my puff. These next 2 pictures, I remember this time very clearly because it was my first time I had ever done a wash and go, and although I had so much shrinkage, I was so happy to see how defined my curls were. Now, if you've watched any of my other natural hair videos, you will know that this is my go-to protector style, and it's my favorite of them all. This hairstyle gives me immediate results, and my hair grows so much when I wear it. I also love it because I'm able to wear my wigs over it, but I mostly wanted you all to see again how healthy my hair was looking 7 months post big chop. Here is a picture of my hair down after 7 months, just to put into perspective how much my hair had grown once I finally let go of all of those damaged permed ends. At the beginning, you see my hair was literally stuck to my head, and at this point I was finally experiencing some hang time. And then 8 months after my big chop, again I'm just showing you the kind of protective styles I wore. For me, I find that my hair grows a lot more when I wear feed and scalp braids. So as you'll see in my next picture, which is a link check, I got a decent amount of growth after taking these down, and I only wore those braids for about a month. Now, I wanted to include these pictures to show you the types of hairstyles to avoid and that I should have avoided, because my edges definitely suffered after a while from wearing tight styles like this. And if you've watched my 9 tips on how I grew my long healthy hair, then you know that this was a big one I told you to avoid doing. I still have areas that I'm working on getting them back healthy, so please avoid doing styles like this. And this is nothing special about this picture besides the fact that I wanted you all to see how long and healthy my hair had gotten. And it'll be another picture of my hair in twists similar like this. And if you're wondering, I was deep conditioning in this photo, so definitely make sure you are doing this weekly, because I definitely think it aided in growing out my hair. I included this collage as a checkpoint of where my hair was at the beginning of my big chop and 9 months post, so you can see a side by side of the amount of growth I had at that point. So next up is one of my favorite protective styles that I ever had, and I absolutely loved my hair like this. And of course, as always, I got a lot of growth from this. So this was in February, and I usually get my sew-ins tightened, so I took this down around April, and that's where this next picture comes in, where I had taken my hair down and I was deep conditioning, and I was finally able to put my hair into 2 top knot buns, and I was super excited about that. In these next 2 photos, I'm just simply showing you all that my hair was finally able to hang on its own. Now this moment here is when I finally felt like I had made it. Words cannot explain how excited I was when I reached ponytail status. I remember this day very clearly because I was so proud of myself for sticking it out on my journey, and I was proud that I was able to grow my hair out on my own. And I was a few days shy of my 1 year mark, so basically a year later after my big chop, I was able to finally get my hair into a ponytail. I'm now going to be giving you guys some insight on my not so high moments of my natural journey. During this time, my shrinkage really began to bother me, and I was also struggling with what to do with my hair because my hair was at a weird length, and I just remember being really down because none of my hairstyles were coming out the way that I wanted them to. Here's a photo to kind of show you all the awkward length my hair was at. So my hair was longer in the back and shorter in the front, and as you can see, it looked like bangs. It was really hard for me to find hairstyles with my hair like this because once my hair dried up, it would shrink really far, and I was not comfortable with wearing my hair like that. So I just began to protect the style a lot to keep from having to deal with it. So like I said before, I began protective styling again, and this was one of my favorite styles to do because like I said earlier, my hair grew a lot with scalp braids, and I also loved the curly ball. So all I would do for this style was of course braid my hair down and then add some cheap curly track hair from my local beauty supply and wrap it around my ends to protect them, and I wore this for weeks. So after wearing my hair in those braids for about a month, this is what my hair was looking like, and I was beginning to get out of my slump. And as you can see, my hair was looking really nice and healthy, but again, that top knot was working against me. So guys, I still wear my half up, half down styles, but now I just avoid doing the bun or the ponytail too close up to the front of my head, and I obviously wear them more loosely now. Okay, so now we're moving back into the high moments, and this is when I feel like I had arrived. Do y'all see how beautiful and full and fluffy my hair is? This was truly one of my high moments, and I can honestly say I loved everything about my natural hair at this point. So these next 3 pictures were from September, and as you can see, my curl pattern had become more noticeable by then. And I also did another length check, and you can see how my hair had gotten a little bit above mid-back length. And then another cringe-worthy picture of me wearing that half up, half down top knot style. Every time I see a picture of me wearing my hair like this, I always wish I could go back and erase it, but I guess it was a learning process I just had to go through. This was the first time I had ever blown my hair out after becoming fully natural, and at this point I was a year and 6 months in, and I had just finished clipping my ends and couldn't believe how thick and full my hair was. I recently made a video of how I clip my ends. If there's something you're interested in, I'll link that video above, but I feel like clipping my ends definitely propelled my growth after this point, and I only clip my hair on a need basis, so there's no schedule that I stick to for this, but health is more important any day over length, so please don't be one of those people that hold on to old damaged hair, because trust me, you're only working against yourself. Your hair does much better when it's healthy. Now this picture was taken in January of 2018, and you can see where I was finally able to wear my hair down and still have some length after my hair had dried up. And then the next picture is just to show you all one of my styles that I wore at that time when my hair was at that length. February 2018, I blew out my hair again, and I only did it because I was about to get some more braids done to protect the style again, and you'll see that protector style in the next picture. Here are some shots of my hair a month later, freshly washed after the takedown of my braids and no products, to show you how long and healthy my hair had gotten. Like I said before, scalp braids always give me the most growth, so I'm always excited to see how far my hair has come whenever I'm taking those down. This is just a side by side of my hair when it was wet versus when it was dry, and I really loved my hair at this point because my styles looked really nice and I was getting more comfortable and confident wearing my hair now that it had gotten out of that awkward stage. As you probably expected, another length check, and you can see that I had gotten another inch since the last length check, and although I do have quite a these in the video, it was not something I was obsessed over. I did them only to document, to have something to keep me motivated, but never because I was obsessed with growth. So just remember to be patient and take care of your hair, and it will definitely grow, because when you get too caught up in the speed of growth, that's when it seems like it's taking forever. Next up was one of my low moments again with my natural hair mentally, because although I was getting the growth I wanted, my twist outs still were not where I wanted them to be. Although in this picture my hair looked defined, it didn't last long at all, and most of my twist outs were coming out frizzy, and to me they just looked a mess. So I remember clearly one day reaching out to a friend of mine from high school who was also natural, and basically I just vented to her about all the frustrations I was having, and the best advice I could have ever gotten from her was when she told me I was simply going to have to learn my hair. No amount of growth was going to satisfy me until I really decided to just find the right products and techniques for me, and from that night literally everything changed for me. That was also the same night I found one of my favorite natural hair YouTubers, and let me just say, since then I really haven't had any bad moments in my journey, because I've really learned my hair and I've learned to love every aspect of it. So if you're getting nothing else from this, please learn your hair and be patient, because there are going to be some high moments and there will also be the lows, but if you can stick it out, I promise it'll all be worth it. So once I got over the hump and finally dedicated my time to learning my curl type, porosity, and the products that work well for my hair, I finally saw the light, and my hair just got healthier and healthier from then on out. This was my hair straight out of the shower with no products, and you can see how shiny and full my hair was. Now I'm gonna just go ahead and warn y'all now that from here on out my hair is popping. Like, my hair really just flourished at this point. I finally had learned how to get a perfect twist out every time, and I was so excited because out of all the styles, this was one that was the hardest to master, so I was pretty darn proud of myself once I got this down. I wanted to show the difference in my hair after being washed. As you can see, me taking the time to learn my hair really got me a lot of growth compared to the previous picture of my hair on wash day with no products in my hair. Now this length check still blows my mind because of how long my hair had gotten, and you can see my hair grew well past my mid-back length, so I'm pretty sure you all know how excited I was. The next few pictures are just to show you how well my wash and goes began to look after I finally found the right product combination for my hair. And I already have a video showing you how I achieve a wash and go with volume, which I will link above, and I'm going to upload another video of the products I use to achieve the wet look wash and go. This wash day was just a few days after my 3-year mark of being natural, and with consistency and caring for my hair, I was able to retain length and also keep my healthy hair. I had to include these next 2 pictures because this is my favorite protective style to wear, and best of all, it's all of my hair, so I can still wash my hair regularly. But most of all, I love how these twists look. It's a quick and easy style, and it's good for about 2 weeks. So if you ever need a protective style to wear but don't want something that you can't change for a while, then I definitely recommend these. Again, I'm just showing you all the progression my twist made from the beginning of the video to now towards the end. So I just had washed off my deep conditioner and my hair had no product, and again, my hair just had a natural shine and overall looks healthy. Here I just have my hair blown out again for another protective style, but I wasn't sure what I was getting done at that time. So like I said before, I love my half up, half down style, and to keep from damaging my edges, I usually wear a bang, and I also don't wear my ponytail too high up so that my edges won't have as much stress on them. These next wash day pictures are the most recent wash day pictures I have, and they were taken in October and it is now January, so I'm sure my hair has since grown, but I have been protective styling because it is of course colder now, and I like to keep my hair put away when it's cold. And lastly, this is my hair back in November when I blew it out so that I could trim my ends because it was way past due, and you can see how full and beautiful my hair looks in these photos, and also how thick and long it is. And this will also conclude my natural hair journey video. So I hope these pictures and the progression of my hair inspired you all on your journey, whether you've been at it for a while or you're just starting out. Remember to be patient and take pictures so that you'll have something to remind you of how far you've come on your journey, and please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all in my next video.